To a vote for the board to approve those nominations, and that's it. So, being said, I will only ask to relieve myself of any nominations as the chairperson. For that to be extended to the wonderful people. But we'll go ahead with that said, open up the proceedings for nominations for a chair.
Just a quick question. Of the four of us sitting here besides you, who's staying? Who's
so far, the composition as is, with respect to Dave, Carey, Nadeem, and yourself, I don't believe is going to change, nor Jeff. There are, today when we discussed this as far as the composition, proposed composition for the board, there are 2 seats open, or potentially open. So we'll talk more about that here in a minute. But as far as you 4, or 5, I think with Jeff, I don't see any need for that to change. So, all right. Any nominations?
Does anybody even want to be a chair? First of all. Should we have Jeff around to do that, or
should y'all just nominate Jeff?
Well, Jeff isn't here, so.
I know. Yeah, it would be. This happens if you don't make it. That's right.
He's not really going to help us if he can't make it. And he does have a pretty busy schedule.
Yeah.
So I guess then it stands to the vice chair. So pick a good vice chair, I guess.
Yeah.
That will be.
I just think to get the board to operate the way it's written up, I think the chair needs to spend the time to, as I spoke in city council, to come on the board and spend time with them.
So that's a good point. There's
Communicate straight through, so I think whoever it is needs to take it serious and say, yeah, I will. And to get our communication directly to them instead of who gets it. So,
okay.
I got a question.
Yes.
Are you remaining on board?
That will be at the discretion of the mayor once we've defined or made a recommendation for the board composition and what is approved by the city council. So.
Okay, I have a second question. Okay, if you remain on the board, does that fill one of those 2 seats?
Yes.
I didn't know.
That's
Great.
so it's possible that you remain on the board and you can therefore remain as chair.
only if there's a nomination and approval by the board, first of all, for that nomination, and then second of all, if it's approved by city council with the position for the board in general.
When are we likely to know the final composition of the board?
The intent is to make a recommendation today based on agenda item 3 that we could take back to city council as far as our recommendation for a board composition. It would then require some changes to our bylaws, but we can have that done fairly quickly with some help from staff as far as defining it. It's not.
I think the bylaw suggests that any recommended changes would be reviewed by the city's legal counsel and then referred back to the board. So it may take a month.
Yeah.
He's not in town right now.
So from there, based on that board composition, we'll have some ideas for those 2 seats where they're coming from.
I would think that the legality part of it, it can't be that tough because, as I recall, you're on city council and you're on the board, so.
No, it's not for that. It's just as a whole. Any changes we make to make sure that there's no conflicts as a whole changes. Yeah, well, yeah, that's not
Eric, you've done this for a couple of years now?
2 years.
2 years. So what do you think the requirements or on what basis would you choose a chair? I mean, you were good, bridging the gap between the board and the city council, and that was very helpful. Plus, you've gotten to know the airport aviation issues quite well. So it seems like once you select sort of the criteria, it may start eliminating some people.
I think Mel, I think he said it best. It's a matter of time because there's the obligation obviously to be here and then to represent the board to city council, so that if there's recommendations that need to be made or reports that need to be given, the expectation would be it could be from the chair, or the chair would delegate someone to do that.
So would it therefore make sense that the city council representative be the chair of the board? Because of the ability to communicate that?
I mean, what's the point? I mean, why do you serve them both? I just think I don't. I mean, Eric's was serving before, but I mean, I don't. I mean, if you're gonna have two city council members, I'm like, what, you know, I think you're interrupting with what the board goals are. I mean, you know, I think.
You know, there's a conflict of interest, is that what you're saying?
What's that?
A possible conflict of interest or something?
No, it's just you got elected officials. It's splitting up what their responsibilities are. I mean, they're elected for the legislative part of the law. And, you know, this advisory board needs to feel free. We need to be able to have the freedom to open discussion. And, you know, I mean, I think if you get two members on here, we'll have politics in every meeting. And it just disrupts. I mean, we've got 2 hours of our time to come give our expert opinion and to try to bring recommendations to the council, the same two that would be sitting here. I'd love them. I mean, if they could sit there and they could witness what the discussion is, at least they know we're doing it. But I think the procedures just never work properly because it's not been allowed to. From what I've seen, from what I've done before, I just, I don't know that I mean, we're trying to change 2 or 3 things at one time. I mean, if we feel we need to put 2 board members on it.
That's not the issue right now at hand.
Yeah.
The issue at hand right now is can we elect a new chairperson? So that wasn't the intent to start talking about the composition quite yet. That's later on, but just.
I was going to say, I mean, and because quite frankly, you're probably choosing among 3 or 4. I mean, I would move myself on the list. Obviously, I think we're lucky enough to be on the board as the FBO and to be a chair. Doesn't make sense. So it's down to 3, short of knowing what the composition of the board would be, which is maybe the logical time to make that decision. I would re-nominate you until such time that you're not on the board. If that happens.
Any other questions or comments?
I'd nominate Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chairman.
I nominate him.
No? All right.
You two.
Okay.
Wilson, close nomination.
Um,
We're down to the.
We're down to the, yeah, so go ahead and we'll take a vote then. Between Dave and Mel,
Not gonna hurt my feelings.
all those in favor of Dave for chair of the Airport Advisory Board, those in favor say aye. Aye.
Raise your hands, please, so I can see.
I nominate him.
All those opposed?
I can be one or the other, I guess.
Yeah, yes, I oppose him, yes.
Okay, we've got
This process.
2. All those in favor of Mel for the position of chair of the Airport Advisory Board, say aye.
Aye.
3. All right. 3 votes have it. Mel,
Amen.
you're it. So with that, we will now take nominations for a vice chair.
Eric, can I make life difficult for you?
Sure.
I don't know if it requires a majority of the board membership to have a motion to pass or not, because typically it requires 4 votes to have a motion to pass on a 7-member board.
That's true. So we need one more vote. What's the policy if I wanted to change my vote? Do we have to do another vote? Or is that allowed? I mean, what's the...
I suspect you can entertain another vote on the same motion.
doesn't appoint, we don't have, we do need 4 votes as far as, we would need Jeff to be here to make that vote.
I'll make a nomination. I'll take the seat and he can be the boss.
Okay?
And
We have a motion to accept Mel as the chair and Jeff Mabott as the vice chair. Now, if he doesn't accept this,
well,
our next board. Oh, Dave, I'm sorry. To make a motion to accept Mel as the chair and Dave as the vice chair. All those in favor say aye. Aye. So raise your hands. I believe it's unanimous, so I think we've got 4. All right. Okay, moving on to item 2.